Hey guys, John, Southwest Missouri Outdoors. Going to get you a variety of content here on the channel. So today we're going to be doing some reloading for the 38 Special. Let me flip you around, show you what we're going to be loading with. So I've got our old RCBS rock chucker press, a set of their carbide dies. We're going to be loading 38 Special with Winchester 110 grain jacketed hollow points, Shooter's World Cleanshot powder. Always got to have our scale to check everything, and then of course we got our load data from the manual. We're going to write that in our box of ammo so we know what we've got, and then also we've got to put it in our shooter's Bible. So got everything lined out. We're going to get started and see what they look like. Thanks for following along. Give suggestions on what you guys want to see. Thanks. Hi guys, we're back here, going to get ready to do our 38 Special reloading. So we've got our components set out, we've got our dies from our CBS, our press, our powder dispenser, the actual powder we're going to be using today, the Shooter's World Cleanshot, along with our bullet of choice is going to be our Winchester 110 grain jacketed hollow point. All of our brass from Starline. Took the time. This has already been prepped, so it's been primed and flared, cased mouse trimmed. The next step we're going to go to is getting our powder put into our dispenser. So we fill up our powder hopper. The backside of this has a threaded rod, and that's what determines the amount of powder that comes out in each charge. We're looking for a 5 grain charge. So the first step we do is get our powder scale. We've got that set to 5 grains. We'll throw a charge, put it on the scale, and we're looking to even out at 0, and we're at 5 grains. So that one looks good. We're going to throw a couple of charges just to make sure they're consistently coming out where we want them to. And again, that one looks good. We're evened out. I've actually gone ahead and pre-charged a bunch of these cases already. One thing I will say, as you're working through, I like to turn all my cases upside down, and as I work my way through and charge them, that is when they get flipped upright. Our next step, we're going to take a look. I've got all of my cases charged here. Get a flashlight, and I'm going to look down in the top of each one of them. While they're all on the block, it'll be real easy to tell if you've had one that you missed or double charged. With a fast burning powder, double charge will fit and it will cause a problem. So we want to give them a glance, make sure they all look pretty even and consistent. And from there, we'll start placing bullets on the top. So I've got my case mouth flared already. So I'm going to go around my loading block, and I will set in each and every bullet, and then we'll move on to our next step. Alright, we're back with our next step. So we've got all of our cases laid out. We have our bullets set on top of each case that's already been primed and charged. Next step, we get our seating and crimping die, and what we're going to do is we're going to get our bullet set in. I've got the body ran down, and what I'm going to do is work my way up to where I start feel I'm seating the bullet. Got myself in there. Needs to go a little bit further. So one of the things I want to do, I want to back that out, go all the way to the top. Not quite far enough. So little by little, I will thread my seating stem in until I get to the desired overall length. At that point, I'm going to give it a measure. We are 1.4175. Right now we're at 1.42. So I'm going to go just a little bit more, and then we'll lock down our locking nut. check. Looks good. We are right in our crimp groove in the cantilever of the bullet. So I'm happy with that. Go ahead and get that thing snug down. You really don't have to go much more than finger tight on this stuff. It's not going anywhere. So that's our first bullet seated right to the cantilever. So we're going to work our way through every one of those bullets, and then we'll go back through and I'll show you the next step with the Lee factory crimp die. Alright, we've got the last step coming up before the fun part. We get to go shoot them. So I've got my Lee factory crimp die. What I want to do is raise my ram all the way up. Then I'm going to thread this thing down until it just barely touches it. And then go ahead and lock that down. The center portion of this, I'm going to thread that out so I can feel what I'm working with. Then I grab one of my bullets. You can see we've got it seated. Not sure how well you can be able to see it. Right down to the cantilever. So that's where we're going to start looking for our crimp. First step, we're going to raise it all the way up into the die. And then I'm going to thread this down until I feel a little bit of resistance. At that point, that is where your crimp is going to start. So I can just feel. So I'm going to go with 3/4 of a turn and then give it a crimp. Pull it out. I think I want just a little bit more crimp than that. So I'm going to give it another 1/4 turn. That felt good. Then you'll be able to see, hopefully, when we get in here. The little bit of curved edge on this one. And then the one on the left side is the one with no crimp. So a little bit of rounded edge on the top is what we're looking for. Should be some good bullets. So we'll run through a few more of these. Make sure that they come out with that same rounded top edge. Again, this one does. You can really feel it with your thumbnail. You've got a curve where it goes up into the cantilever. And what I'm referring to as the cantilever is the part on your bullet that has the little ridges in there. For a revolver, that is what holds this bullet into the case mouth. So we're basically folding that over to hold it into place. That one feels good. So now the monotony begins. Going through all 100 cases, getting them all crimped in there. And that is it. So that's our process of loading a 38 Special. Let me know if you want to see anything different. Give me some suggestions. Here's our final product. We got 100 rounds of 38 Special. Should be a pretty light shooting, fun to plink with load. The only thing left to do is go out and test them, shoot a couple over the chronograph, see how they do. Thank you for following along. Appreciate a like and subscribe. Y'all have a great afternoon.